G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going still with the repotting stage of my trees in late winter, early spring, and I'm up to doing some Shimpaku junipers from nursery pot into bonsai pot. So unfortunately we are in lockdown here in Melbourne because of COVID, and we're not able to go out and get source some new pots, etc. So really I only have one pot that this tree could possibly be going at the moment, and it's going to be this pot. Should be okay. It's not 100% the pot I was after. I didn't really like the lip on this pot, but we'll see what it looks like with this tree in it. But for now, yeah, we're gonna repot this tree. This tree has been featured in a number of my videos in the past. I've done air layers off this tree, multiple air layers. There's lots of gins here that were previously air layers. So there's at least 4 or 5 trees that have just come out of this one piece of stock, which is great. The other thing, I've also done refinement videos on this tree as well, and it's nicely set up as a twin trunk kind of tree. And now the tree is actually in the next stage of refinement, so I really want to try and get it into a bonsai pot and start to style it, get it used to a container, get it used to being styled in a container, growing in a container, and so on. So I'm not going to touch the foliage at all today. It's purely going to be about repotting it into a bonsai pot, nice open mix, get it out of this soil. Let's see what the roots look like. I haven't seen those roots before. Could be quite heavy, see how much we can reduce. So the pot I've chosen is quite deep enough and thick, wide enough, etc., to be able to keep the tree in a healthy state. So let's get cracking into this tree. So we'll see if it comes out of its pot, maybe. Oh, it should come out. It's not too bad. I think I might have topped it up the other time. So it's looking alright. I think we won't have too much problems with this. I try and comb it out as much as I can with just my hands. But I will have to use a root hook. Now the only problem is it's been in some. It's not a mix that I have put it in, so it is kind of like a nursery mix. So it's going to take me some time to actually comb a lot of this out, find the healthy roots, cut back to the right roots. So it might be boring to watch, but just to show you quickly. So just comb out, go around, comb. Just comb out the roots as much as I can. Really get into it because the tree's got to end up being in a small pot, so you've got to actually be able to reduce it. So regardless what you do, you're going to have to try and get a lot of these roots reduced. But as I said, the nursery material is grown very differently to bonsai people. They're growing stock. So this mix it's very fine. It's going to take me a while. I've got to wash. Now I have no problems washing the roots off junipers when I repot. Haven't had any problems before. So it's like almost bare rooting them in a way. If I didn't have to, I won't. But in this case, you've got to do it. To really get into the roots and get rid of the fine soil. On pines, you would never do that. For example, you never wash away all the old soil on pines. You make sure you keep the mycorrhiza and the old soil, bit of the old soil each time. It's a gradual replacement of old soil on pines rather than a full replacement. So a little bit different, but for junipers, I treat them pretty much like a deciduous, almost like my tridents. You see how much I get into them. Probably when I reduce I definitely don't reduce the roots as much as I do on a trident that I do on a Shimpaku juniper. I don't take as much roots off a Shimpaku juniper when I repot, but tridents are different. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to bore you too much with this exercise. I've said what it needs to say. Now I'll stop. And I actually really get stuck into this. Probably could take another 20 minutes just to get right into it because it is very fine soil. I'm going to give it a good hose, rinse off, get the roots all ready for you to look at, and then we'll show how you can trim those roots back and then repot it into its new pot. Okay, I'll be back soon. Alright, I'm back. So that took quite a bit of effort to really get stuck into it. Now I've pretty much got a very flat root base. There is some quite heavy, still some heavy rootage around, but it's gotten to a point where I was able to comb out most of the roots and really get into the base there. So just to show you, I've also uncovered a very nice nabari on this tree. So let me come in close so you can see how that beautiful nabari looks. Can you see that? Really nice radial. You know, it looks really good. It's a really nice base. It's going to lend really well to the tree. But obviously, you know, when your tree's growing in a nursery container for too long, it does have its own problems in terms of roots. So I've got a lot of roots still on the tree, which is good. But, you know, I have to remove some of the big heavy stuff, which is kind of annoying. There's still a few little heavy ones in the base. So when I put my hand down, I can feel them. So there's not really much point having them there. And you might as well do the work now. Otherwise, you've got to do it at some other stage as well. So if there's something that shouldn't be there, might as well just get rid of it now. You're going to have to do it anyway eventually. So they're just a couple of heavy roots. But we've got a lot of nice fine roots anyway around the place. So we'll comb them out once we get in the pot. So anyway, I'm really happy with that. Really nice nabari I found. So it's really a good positive outcome. So nice and flat. We've got nice flat root base to work with. And yeah, let's get stuck into repotting. That should be enough for now. The tree should almost sit on its own because I've got it nice and flat. Here's the pot. Let me just check the size. Yeah, it should fit nicely. A little bit snug at the start, but I think everything will be fitting quite nicely in there. And it should look alright actually. Doesn't look too bad in it. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's actually not bad at a combination. I think it's okay. Cool, worked out well. Alrighty, now I've got a couple of tie wires in. I've got two, so I can do it horizontally and this way as well. So let me just get some soil. It was quite an intensive process to really get into those roots. So really, it took me a good 20 minutes, half an hour to really comb them out, wash them out. Like I had to go back and wash many times to get this tree, to get those roots really cleaned out of that old soil. This really suits the tree, this pot. I'm really impressed. I think it looks good. It's a little small, maybe on the small side, but I think it suits it really well. Even the angle, I just put it straight in and it looks really good where it is. Slightly to the side. I'm just going to tie the tree in. Now it's pretty important the first time because this is the first time it's going to a bonsai pot, it's pretty important to secure it in the pot. Oh, I should have my turntable. That should make life a bit easier. First one, solidifying that. I'll just show you what it looks like. Kind of nice actually, it really looks nice. I wanted that to be the center tree and this is a little bit on the side. Potted a little bit to this side of the tree, a little bit of the pot, so it actually looks alright. Nice. Just going to do the other wire securing the tree. Probably doesn't need this one actually. It's actually pretty solid, but you know, always be cautious. Always err on the side of caution, and yeah, let's wire it in. It's also good. Some of these roots get to be wide in as well, so they're not kind of poking up in the air. All right, nice, safe, secure. Nice tree. Look, maybe that's a better angle. Actually sits it really well. Those gins look good too in that spot there. Hey, not too bad. Yeah, I like it. The Nabari looks really good. Alright, let's get some soil now and fill this out. Now I do want to use my chopsticks quite a bit here and really work in the soil. So maybe they spend the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just make sure it's really nicely solidified and packed in. It'd be good if I had some moss. I don't have any moss at the moment because I haven't been able to go out and collect because we're in lockdown, and how do you explain if you get caught collecting moss to the police? Hey, I was out going for a walk collecting moss. Oh yeah, that's an essential service. Yeah, probably can't get away with that. So let's stick to home, and when I'm able to go for a walk and pick it out, I'll do so. I usually go to a site where it's an old abandoned site, work site, like an old factory, and the moss just grows all over the grounds, but I have to drive there to get to it. So, explain that one. Yeah, so I'm going to go away, and I'm going to use the chopstick, work it all in, going to water the tree in, and then you'll see the final product. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll be back to show you the final product. Alright guys, I thought I'd hold up the final product, nice and clean. I'll come into the camera so you can see a bit better. I think it's come along really well. Probably have to readjust all the branches a little bit, but it looks really good where it is. Need to do a bit of work on it, but now it's in a bonsai pot. I can actually really look at it properly at the angle I want and really style it up. So there you go guys, what do you think? Looks nice, come along really well. It's like, see how it doesn't come straight out of the trunk, out of the pot, the trunk that is, comes off to my left, your right probably, but my left, so it just comes out to the left, so it's nice movement of that first trunk. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Alright guys, so a bit more work in this tree, especially with it being in a nursery container for a much longer period of time. A lot more work needed to happen, just some heavy roots needed to be taken off. But in the end, it's looking good. Should just recover. Won't touch this tree at all for a good, until December probably. So yeah, good, almost 4 months or so, 5 months. Won't touch it. So just leave it alone, let it recover, and let's see how it goes after that. And then once you made that transition into a bonsai pot, it's pretty straightforward then. The tree is just a matter of keeping it healthy, keeping it watered, and every once in a while, a few years, you repot it, freshen up the soil. But that's easy. It's already containerized. It's got used to a container, a pot, and it shouldn't be that hard to keep it going. So now it's just a matter of working on this tree and getting it looking really good over the years. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that video. See you next time. Take care. Bye.